Hey, what's up guys? I'm Adrian Ramirez. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before I start, help me out by smashing the like button and subscribe. Today I'm going to be exposing Beyond Meat. I'm going to share with you guys why the stock skyrocketed 163% on its IPO. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys a lot of important information about the company and what it is they do in case you don't know. And more importantly, the numbers they released on their S1. If you don't know what the SEC Form S1 is, don't worry, I'll explain it right now. According to Investopedia, SEC Form S1 is the initial registration form for new securities required by the SEC for public companies that are based in the US. Any security that meets the criteria must have a S1 filing before shares can be listed on a national exchange. Form S1 requires companies to provide information on the planned use of capital proceeds, detail the current business model and competition, and provide a brief prospectus of the planned security itself. Put simply, investors rely on the information the company supplies in its SEC Form S1 filing to determine whether or not they should invest in a stock during its initial public offering. Beyond Meat's Form S1 is literally almost 200 pages long. I will now be sharing with you guys some of the most important things I found in it. I will also share with you guys why I think Beyond Meat has a lot of potential to become a huge company in the future. I know, it's very speculative. I have to say though, the valuation as of today, Wednesday, May 22nd, is insane though. As you guys might have heard, Beyond Meat saw a whole lot of green during its initial public offering. The company's stock nearly triples from the original IPO price. Beyond Meat skyrocketed Thursday, May 2nd to become one of the best performing public offerings by a major US company in almost 2 decades. Beyond Meat priced its IPO at $25 a share on Wednesday evening, May 1st. On Thursday morning, May 2nd, the stock started trading at $46 a share and jumped to $65.75 by the end of the session for a gain of 163%.
Thank you, God.
Prices almost hit $73 a share at their intraday peak. Shares were up another 4% after hours. As I said before, it was the biggest popping IPO for a US company with a market cap of at least $200 million since the year 2000, according to Dealogic data. The last comparable pop in the US markets came in December 2010, when Chinese internet company Youku rose almost 115% in its debut on the New York Stock Exchange. Beyond Meat's market cap jumped from about $1.5 billion Wednesday night, May 1st, to around $3.8 billion Thursday afternoon, May 2nd. It was an amazing day for Beyond Meat. The company sold 9.5 million shares in the IPO to raise at least $240 million. According to the S1, Beyond Meat intends to use the net proceeds from this offering to invest in current and additional manufacturing facilities, as well for working capital and general corporate purposes. I'm going to share a bit about the company's history now. Beyond Meat was founded in 2009 by Ethan Brown with a vision of building meat products directly from plants. According to Ethan, when he was young, he used to ask himself, what is the determining biological difference between animals we keep as pets and those relegated to the dinner plate? Later in his life, while raising his own children and seeking to satisfy their protein requirements as they grew, this question returned. Along with growing concerns around human health, climate change, and the natural resource implications of intensive animal protein production and consumption. The first operation started in a small kitchen in Maryland, where Ethan began selling an early plant-based product to Whole Foods markets. In 2010, Ethan opened a manufacturing facility in Maryland. During this time, Ethan began working extensively with 2 researchers at the University of Missouri's Bioengineering and Food Science Department at the College of Agricultural and Natural Resources, along with faculty and students at the University of Maryland's Nutrition and Food Science Department. Ethan ultimately licensed the process developed by the researchers that combined proteins from plants into a basic structure resembling animal muscle, or meat.
Yes, science!
And used this as an initial foundation for Beyond Meat products. It became clear that with appropriate resources, building meat from plants was indeed possible. Beyond Meat has now become one of the fastest growing food companies in the United States, offering a variety of plant-based meats. They build meat directly from plants, an innovation that enables consumers to experience the taste, texture, and other sensory attributes of widely popular animal-based meat products. Their brand commitment, Eat What You Love, represents their strong belief that by eating their plant-based meats, consumers can enjoy more, not less, of their favorite meals, and by doing so, help address concerns related to human health, climate change, resource conservation, and animal welfare. The success with their plant-based meats has allowed them to appeal to a broad range of consumers, including those who typically eat animal-based meats. positioning themselves to compete directly in the $1.4 trillion global meat industry. Beyond Meat has three core plant-based product platforms that align with the largest meat categories globally, which are beef, pork, and poultry. As I mentioned before, they create the plant-based products using a proprietary scientific process that determines the architecture of the animal-based meat they are seeking to replicate, and they assemble it using plant-derived amino acids, lipids, trace minerals, and water. The company is focused on continually improving their products so that they are indistinguishable from real animal meat to the human sensory system. Let's now explore how much revenue Beyond Meat is making and how much they are losing. Beyond Meat posted $16.1 million in revenue during 2016. The company had total expenses that year of $18.4 million. The company had posted a loss of $25.1 million in that year. In 2017, the company grew a lot when its revenue doubled to $32.5 million in revenue during 2017. The company had total expenses that year of $26.3 million. The company posted a loss of $30.3 million in that year. In 2018, Beyond Meat went ham when they more than doubled their revenue, making $87.9 million. The company's expenses and costs almost doubled as well. The total expenses was $45.5 million in 2018. The company posted a loss of $29.8 million in 2018. Although they aren't profitable right now, I think Beyond Meat is doing the right thing right now by just focusing and expanding and growing the company and bringing in more revenue.
I think you're doing the right thing, but I'm out.
At least they aren't losing over $1.4 billion like Lyft is. The following are some of the risk factors about the company that are outlined on the S1. They are explained in detail in the S1 so investors can know what they're getting themselves into if they buy shares from the business. The risks are related to their business, brand, products, and their industry. Risk factor number 1. They have a history of losses and they may not be able to achieve or sustain profitability. At least not yet. Beyond Meat has experienced net losses in each year since their inception. In the year ending December 31, 2016, they incurred a net loss of $25.1 million. In the year ending December 31, 2017, they incurred a net loss of $30.4 million. In the year ending December 31, 2018, they incurred a net loss of $29.9 million. Beyond Meat anticipates that their operating expenses and capital expenditures will increase substantially in the foreseeable future as they continue to invest to increase their customer base. Risk factor number 2. If they fail to effectively expand their manufacturing and production capacity, their business can be affected. Risk factor number 3. Since the company relies on a limited number of third-party suppliers, they might not be able to obtain raw materials on a timely basis or in sufficient quantities to produce their products or meet the demand for their products. Risk factor number 4. The whole business may be adversely affected by reduced or limited availability of pea proteins that meet their standards. Risk factor number 5. Beyond Meat might not be able to compete successfully in their highly competitive market. Numerous brands and products compete for limited retailer shelf space, food service, and restaurant customers and consumers. Their biggest competitors are conventional animal protein companies such as Cargill, Hormel, GBS, Tyson, and WH Group. These companies may have substantially greater financials and other resources than Beyond Meat. They may also have lower operational costs and as a result may be able to offer conventional animal meat to customers at a lower cost than plant-based meat, which could cause Beyond Meat to lower their prices, thus resulting in lower profitability and possibly making them lose market if they fail to lower prices to compete. Beyond Meat also competes with other food brands that develop and sell plant-based meats, including Boca Foods, Field Roast Grain Meat, Gardein, Impossible Foods, Light Life, Morningstar Farms, and Tofurky. Further on, conventional food companies may acquire Beyond Meat's competitors to launch their own plant-based meats or launch their own plant-based protein products and may be able to use their resources and scale to respond to competitive pressures. Another thing to point out is that retailers also market competitive products under their own labels, which are generally sold at lower prices and compete with some of Beyond Meat's products, which could also affect the business. These are some of the biggest risks associated with the business. Investors should carefully consider the risks before deciding whether to invest in Beyond Meat. I think the company will continue to grow its revenue, but the valuation of the company as of filming this video is insane. Plus, they are unprofitable. I think the company's stock may double and triple in value in the future, but it would be due to the speculation from investors and not because the company is making any profits. As the company grows their revenue, the losses will grow as well.
What are you doing, Mark? I'm out. Wow.
I see high risk and high reward for this stock. I personally prefer companies that are growing a lot and are already profitable. For that reason, I am out. Anyways, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Beyond Meat in the comments. I want to disclose that I don't own any shares of Beyond Meat right now. Also remember, this channel is for information and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor and all investments involve some degree of risk. Please invest responsibly and do your own due diligence. See you guys. Bye.